Hello, welcome to Rainy Day Podfic. I'm your host, Jay, Pan, or Bean, whichever you prefer, or come up with a new name for me and put it down in the comments. Today I will be reading Slippery Bastard by Orphan Account on AO3. This is part 2 of the Heroic Epiphany series. I am recording this the day after I recorded part 1. I didn't come home from work and start recording, no. So I am still kind of sick in that, I sound very congested. My throat's a bit better. I'm still coughing a lot, though. Anyways, that's just, to explain my voice. Okay, anyways, so you'll see under where, I normally put the warnings, it says Whump-ish Midoriya. I actually meant to put Whump-ish Izuku, but that's a tag, on the fic itself. So in case you don't know what Whump means in fanfiction, it is quoting directly from, what source is this? Show more. I don't like these. Okay, so quoting from stuff like Reddit and Quora, Whump is a popular trope or genre where a character experiences significant physical or psychological suffering, pain, injury, or torture, often with a focus on their distress and subsequent recovery, hurt comfort, but with the hurt part being much more intense and central than typical angst. So just a little heads up. I will also be censoring bastard in the title because I don't want to risk, my video getting taken down. Okay. Summary. Midoriya Izuku might just be the world's most slippery vigilante, dancing out of Eraserhead's grasp too many times than Shouta's shining capture record is comfortable with. When he shows up at Shouta's doorway, bleeding from the stomach with a crooked smile on his face, the underground hero decides not to mention the irony of Izuku's capture to his boss. Notes. So, because I didn't really go over Izuku's quirk in a lot here, it might make sense for me to just explain. His quirk allows him to teleport short distances by rapidly materializing and dematerializing, and that's about it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Eraserhead. One of the members of the Vigilante group Judgment is near your current location. Your new priority is to catch them and bring them in for questioning. Well, shit. Which one? Blink. His quirk is not confirmed, but he appears to have the ability of short-distance teleportation. The limit is to be determined. Gotcha. It's his third encounter with Blink. He won't let him slip this time. He arrives too late to stop the Vigilante, alias Blink, from broadcasting a video that undoubtedly ruins pro-hero Whimsic for the rest of his career, but he does arrive just in time to arrest him, Midoriya Izuku. Does anyone really remember Icarus? All I ever hear about him is the way he fell from the sky. The boy's rambling again, eyes unfocused and fingers stroking through strands of his hair. The casualty in the way he speaks is irritating, to say the least, but Shouta knows better than anyone the way Izuku uses these moments to his advantage. The pro-hero keeps his eyes fixed on Midoriya. At this point, they're burning with the urge to blink. Be quiet, kid. We're almost there. You're gonna be behind bars at last. Shouta doesn't like the way uncertainty still crawls its way into his voice. Izuku must notice this like a shark smelling water, because the kid flashes that stupidly predatory grin, innocence still in his eyes. You seem so sure, Eraser. Heroes have doubts too, you know. There's a finality in those words that doesn't belong there. Shouta braces himself, and yet nothing happens. And what's that supposed to mean? Izuku shrugs. It means what it means. The armored van screeches to a stop. A baby-eating grin makes its way onto Izuku's face. It also means you should pay more attention to your driver. Shouta stupidly glances to the bars that separate the driver's seat and the passenger's seat, hissing out a curse when he sees a blonde girl, who absolutely isn't the driver, smile back at him. It's too late when he looks back. Midoriya is gone, even though the doors of the van are still locked as tight as ever. The scarf that had served as a capture device was in shreds, and Shouta knew he would dread the embarrassing trip to the equipment department for weeks to come. What a fucking slippery bastard. The fourth time he lost Midoriya from an arm's length away was on the rooftop of an office building. Izuku was sitting with his feet dangling over the edge. The boy had new bruises blossoming across his face. He wasn't in the shadowy vigilante get-up as he was in most of their encounters. He looked quite normal, with a sweater 2 sizes too big hanging off his shoulders and dirty Converse sneakers on his feet. Midoriya doesn't glance up at the pro-hero when he notices him approaching. Caught me after hours, old man, Izuku murmurs, eyes looking longingly at the concrete 50 stories below. That's just not fair. Shouta decides it isn't fair either, and sits down next to him. The noises of cars and people only reaches them as a faint hum this high up. You're a damn mystery, Midoriya Izuku. Shouta sighs, glancing over at the kid next to him. Izuku smiles, revealing a mouthful of bloody teeth. I know. What happened to you, kid? Shota's gunmetal gaze rakes over the cuts, scrapes, and bruises lining Izuku's body, grimacing when he notices the way Izuku is holding a twisted wrist in his left hand. Did you know Endeavor killed someone last night? Izuku whispers, the wind almost drowning out the way his voice shakes. Shouta freezes, glancing at Izuku with wide eyes. The vandal that's been painting those beautiful murals on the streets was framed for murder by Retract, the serial killer. A crowd was gathering from far enough distance that nobody could hear what they were saying. Before he could even put his hands up, flames had already burst right from under him. Tears are starting to well up in Izuku's eyes. Shouta wonders if he's been on the wrong side. He told the news crews that the case was solved with the necessary force, but the killer had threatened to blow up everyone below them with explosives set in the ground. He pulls something from his pocket and pushes it into Shouta's hands. It's a photo. Heartache written in wrinkles and folds. It's a man he doesn't recognize, with a thunderstorm in his eyes and lightning in his smile. That vandal? He painted murals that were inspired by us, inspired by the truth. I didn't know him very well, but God, Endeavor's a hero, Mr. Aizawa. He got away with it. Heroes like him are sick. Izuku runs shaky fingers through his hair, revealing the bruises covered by his bangs. There's so many heroes like Endeavor. It's fucking scary. Conman, this other hero, ignored a class of kindergartners trapped under rubble to chase after a villain. Dobby wouldn't let me hear the end of it when he saw me fighting off the other villains until the paramedics and firefighters arrived. That's why I look so shitty. So, is that what your group does? The government declared you a threat with the way you've been hacking broadcasting buildings and exposing well-known heroes. Shouta doesn't fight the skepticism in his voice. The government almost always acted out of fear, ramping up rising villains' threats far higher than they needed to be. We do more than that, Mr. Eraser. Izuku smiles sweetly and stands up, stretching out his arms as he edges closer to the 50-story drop. Shouta tenses, getting ready to catch him, only to freeze when Midoriya jumps with a cackle, his voice calling out as he plummets. Icarus didn't just fall, after all. When Shouta looks down, Izuku's already disappeared. It's the middle of the night when Shouta hears a feeble knock on his door. Without a word, he grabs his brand new capture tool and cracks the door open just to peek. He almost strangles the shaking figure on his doorstep. It's a broken, bleeding Midoriya. There's blood dripping down his mouth and nose. The boy is shaking like a leaf. The pro hero's gaze drops to where Izuku is holding his stomach, a deep red gash sending blood seeping through his shirt. Shouta drops the scarf with a hushed string of curses, gathering Midoriya in his arms and carrying him inside. The usual calmness that accompanies being a pro hero seems to have flown out the window in this case. Just a few hours ago, there was a sweet smile on his face and life in his eyes. The boy seemed to be fading in and out of consciousness, breath getting shallow and erratic. Fuck, Izuku, I have to take you to a hospital, Shouta murmurs, grabbing a towel from the kitchen counter and pressing it to the wound. No, you can't. Izuku tries to squirm away, bloody fingers fruitlessly trying to push at Shouta. I've already let you off the hook too many times, Izuku. You're gonna bleed out. Shouta was already carrying him to his car, the steady thrum of rain getting louder as he steps outside. Fuck you. That was only one time. Why the hell did you come to my place, Izuku? I'm not even gonna ask how you know where I live. The car locks with a click and growls as Shouta zooms out of the alley driveway, whizzing past roads and definitely speeding down the wrong lanes. I was gonna ask you to kiss it better, Dad. Shouta almost crashes. Izuku lets out a muffled grunt of pain as the car swerves. Man, everyone on the road must love you, Eraser. He glares as Midoriya jokes, a pained smile on his face. Still like I'm your pregnant wife or anything. Just take it easy before we both die, yeah? Izuku Midoriya, you are the only fucking person I know who can think of a comedy routine on the way to the hospital for a stab wound. Aw, you should be nicer to me. It might be the last time I see a dad. Izuku's voice gets quieter towards the end, coughing out the last part a little as the blood starts seeping through the fabric of the towel. Shit. He's gonna pass out. Just a few more minutes, Izuku. Keep talking to me. You think? Izuku starts, voice getting more and more shaky as his breathing slows. You think Ingenium is gonna be okay? It's after 0 hours, why wouldn't he be? They're getting closer. The hospital peeks out from behind a few buildings. Shouta slams the brakes next to the main entrance and hurries to pick up Izuku again. I jumped in front of the blade. Stain was the attacker, I think. What? Izuku continues, even as the nauseating fluorescent lights signal their entrance to the hospital. It's funny. We share most of the same ideals. Izuku is going limp. Shouta begins to panic. The front desk employees wordlessly signal for a stretcher. Luckily, help comes fast. Izuku doesn't even realize he's being strapped down until they start wheeling him away. One more thing, Dad. Relief is starting to seep in when Izuku murmurs the fond nickname. Shouta starts to follow him as far as the paramedics will let him. Hang up that Vandal guy's picture for me, will you? Print out a copy and nail it to Endeavor's front door. Shouta smiles, hoping it's not the last thing Izuku sees. Will do. Alright, that was the end of fucking Slippery Bastard. So, next chapter will be Baffled, and it's the end of Heroic Epiphanies. It is 2 chapters for a total of 2,084 words. I could probably just do that at one time, in all honesty. No promises, but, like, I could, theoretically. Baffled by orphan account, Midoriya Izuku makes one hell of an impression on Class 1A. Aizawa realizes that he hates hormonal teenagers, and Midoriya and Bakugo have a bit of a reconciliation. I don't know, man, they tie up some loose ends and fit in. Unfortunately for Aizawa, a fair amount of PDA. In all honesty, Class 1A is fucking baffled. Oh yeah, it's Bakugo Daku. In complete honesty. This is the part of the series that I found first. I was going through AO3 on orphan account tags, found a bunch of things that seemed interesting, like reading through some of them, seeing what might be a good idea to podfic, and I saw this description and fucking damn near cackled. What if it weren't for the fact I was at work? There's some part from Slippery Bastard that I wanted to talk about. Sorry, I was just fiddling with my headphones, which I used to record. Okay. Slippery Bastard. Where is it? There was some part I wanted to, like, fucking laugh. Okay. It means you should pay more attention to your driver, being Toga. The black-haired dude is Dobby. Bloody teeth. I know. I do really like how, sorry, I do really like how, oh, I was popping my knuckles, that's my bad, it's the habit. Okay, cat, jeez, bye. Yeah, Delilah, my cat, was on my lap this entire recording, it's wondrous. Right, now, I do really like how Midoriya just, like, keeps randomly calling Zawa dad, like, oh, love, okay. Also, Icarus didn't just fall after all. Oh my fuck, I love that. Like, I really enjoy the Icarus story. One day I do plan to get a back tattoo with the sun, Icarus, and the waves. I'm debating if I should get it colored, but I probably won't. It'll probably just be black outlines and shading. One day I am definitely going to get that tattoo. It's probably going to have to be done in like 5 parts though, because back tattoos are painful as hell. But like, I love Icarus and his story and everything, but Midoriya he didn't just fall after all. No, he didn't. That was the thing of, like, he was so, not like, he was kind of overly confident, boastful even, almost. His uncle, Daedalus, I do believe, is the inventor who was with him. Daedalus is his uncle, and Daedalus had killed his own son before I believe it was King Midas, locked them both in a tower. This is a tower that they escaped from that Daedalus made the wings to get out of. So just, like, Daedalus made these wings of copper and wax for the two to use to get down. It wasn't really so they could run away. It was kind of so they could run away. There was a reason that they were over a large body of water. They were trying to escape. These wings were made to help them escape, you know? And Daedalus told Icarus, don't fly too close to the sun. And Icarus, overwhelmed with this feeling of freedom and joy and confidence, he believed too strongly of his uncle's invention and flew too close to the sun. And he plummeted down and fell into the water, the crashing waves, and he drowned to death. And there was nothing Daedalus could do to save him. I'm sorry, that's just like an overview of the story. I have actually, if there's literally anyone who watches these videos, please, for the love of fuck, give me feedback. I've been debating doing, like, little short stories. I know this is, in fact, a Podfic channel, but I also just really, really like reading. I don't read a lot anymore, but I would love to, maybe, do a couple live streams every here and there, reading different mythology, stories. I've got a Greek mythology book, I've got a Norse mythology book, I have a Brothers Grimm fairy tale book. That is so much fun. Also, if you ever need anime recommendation and you have Netflix, the Grimm Variations is wondrous. I love them. Grimm Variations, it is wonderful. Oh my god, someone else like that. Oh. Who the fuck subscribed? What? I was just at 27. Sorry, I'm looking at, my YouTube. No, Grimm Variations, lovely. Anime series. There's only, 6 episodes last I checked, and I haven't been able to check again recently because I don't have Netflix anymore. But it's wondrous. It's wondrous. I love it. I really like the Cinderella story, because Cinderella, that's spoilers. Honestly, you can just, click off the, okay, I'm gonna say the other one I really like first, Little Red Riding Hood. They did a Red Riding Hood version of one, and it was so good. Though, on that one, heavy trigger warning of stuff they're assassins, first off, kind of implied rape, drugs, and I think they're in a virtual reality type thing, so potential derealization, kind of. But, past that, I'm going to start, talking about these episodes a bit more, for a little bit, actually. So if you don't want spoilers, click off, please. But no, so Cinderella stories, is honestly amazing, because, it's this little girl. She's itty-bitty, and her dad dies, and then she's got these stepsisters, and she starts, low-key framing them, but no one realizes she's framing them. And then, it just continues like this throughout their, lives until they're adults. And the stepsisters, what's the stepmom's name? Lady Tramine, I think? Something like that. She, gets really sick. And you might not know why she's really sick. And Cinderella in all of this, definitely gets along with these staff and helps them out a lot and takes a lot of their responsibilities. So, sorry, I'm blanking on words. So Cinderella is, helping take care of the stepmother in this, and she doesn't go by Cinderella because, again, it's an anime. They have much more Japanese names, I think. I don't actually remember for sure. She's helping take care of the stepmother, and in doing so, she's making the stepmother more sick with poison. She's doing this, and then there's the ball, and the stepsisters go to the ball, or at least one of them does. I don't remember if both of them, I think both of them do. And then Cinderella goes to the ball after she had taken care, like, actually taken care, like, stepmother is no more of her. Cinderella goes to the ball, she's very pretty, and then she does, I forget what exactly, like, she does something that kind of, antagonizes the stepsisters, and they, like, throw a huge fit, and then, the prince sees Cinderella and essentially saves her, save in quotations, from them, marries her, yada yada, and then, at, like, one of the end scenes for the story is, of Cinderella, grown adult lady, talking to this doll, a doll she has had this entire time, and saying, essentially, you know, I'm glad we're here now. I was getting bored back home. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bestie? But no, it's, oh my god. I just really like the Grim Variations anime. Again, it is on Netflix, and I don't know if it's anywhere else. It's just so interesting, and I just really like Grim Variation type stuff. I mean, I have a fucking Brothers Grimm fairy tale book. Anyways, I've been talking for so long. I've added like 10 minutes to this. Okay, so I'm probably gonna go record again. I hope you have a pleasant next 24 hours. Eat, sleep, drink water. On the eat thing, eat as much as your body can handle, you know? As much as you need to stay... Oh, we had this issue yesterday. Nutrients? Get your nutrition. Eat. Food. You know, take medication if you have any that you haven't taken already and you need to. Or if you've got, like, vitamin supplements, go take those. Sorry, I started laughing and then it turned into a cough. Well, thank you and goodbye.